Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina of Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your April, May, June preview. I am basing this projection forward based in the moment of now, the present moment, which is the resonance of the full moon in Libra, where I'm located, experienced a fairly major earthquake last night in the very wee hours of the day after April Fool's Day. And this is really the Earth's violent expression of perhaps rage, anger, vengeance towards its treatment by we who inhabit its beautiful paradise of resources and spaciousness, great beauty. It's also a way in which our foundations are being shaken, our cages rattled, as we counter a myth of perfection, an illusion as we make the seasonal shift into the springtime. You are understanding, coming up against a sense of your own boundaries, your own limits as we experience the rage and violence of the earth. And abundance reads, I'm a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. For many Capricorns, this is something that you have struggled to believe. For many of you, you have perhaps accomplished a sense of wealth, prosperity, security, and protection. But for many I'm speaking to, you have not truly believed in your limitless abundance, to your power as being omnipresent, always having existed within you and for you. And this level of negative talk, this experience of that isn't enough, I don't have enough, I wish it had been more, I'm disappointed by that experience, I was held back by X, is something that has been deeply and internally damaging to you. So we are removing that consciousness that prompts a sense of having to respond or react to what is thrown our way, and instead reverse that energy to where we project our internal sense of empowerment out into the world and receive rewards and abundance as a consequence of that. April, May, and June are laid out here with the archetype cards as the themes for the month. I will clarify the African Tarot with the Crow Tarot and finish up with a Flower Oracle. So the King in April, I'm going to read this from the guidebook. The King is the ruler, the commander, the emperor. The King presides over the entire spectrum of human experience. The King assesses the state of the land, makes decisions, and rules accordingly. Therefore, the King must be thoroughly and regularly vetted as to avoid corruption, recognizing the dual nature of the King. He's either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding us towards peace, or he's oppressing the weak out of a need to control. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet great kings of mythology and history take their throne with grace and humility, knowing that the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing injustices in the kingdom. So April is clarified then by the Hanged Man. This is definitely resonating with this sense of getting your head right, getting your perspective on correctly. so that you are recognizing that in order to do the profound and powerful work that you want to do in the world, you have to enlarge your perspective. You have to recognize that you are not being acted upon. Life is not happening to you, but happening for you. And the circumstances, opportunities that you may be currently experiencing are opportunities for you to project your desires, to support that with and sustain that with the work that you're willing to do in order to receive the desired outcomes. This perspective shift is about recognizing that in the current state of maybe passivity, uh, being in a position of fighting over the chaotic forces of the universe rather than a sense of ownership over them has depleted you for sure, but is also a reflection of um, this unwillingness to, or this disbelief that you can sustain the energy and the vision necessary to keep the abundance flowing. You may be able to receive a wonderful opportunity, but how long can you sustain it? Are you willing to? Are you willing to commit? And as a result of that, you recognize you're missing a lot of opportunities by seeing them in this way. These opportunities are exactly what you've asked for. And these are not to be overly analyzed, considered to death, put on the back shelf, procrastinated regarding. Instead, you have the opportunity here to shift your thinking, recognize that you are working on behalf of a larger collective and that this is work that you have asked for because you are designed to do this. You are capable of this. This is what you were born to. When we think of the birthright of kings or the royal, this is part of what is suggested here. That you have all the privilege, all the training, all the education, all of the connections to do what it is you want to do. But do you believe it? In May, we have the comic, a rather quizzical creature, the comic, a pie-eyed cat. And the comic keywords are the clown, the fool, the joker. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. The comic can cure the ails of this world. And amid the deepest pain and suffering, there's always the potential to lift up and out of darkness through laughter. The archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and burdened mind. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, healing the deep divisions in our world, one pun at a time. It would not surprise many of you to know that one of the coping mechanisms that you regularly employ is humor, the laughing to keep from crying metaphor or motto that many of you experience in I can't make this stuff up. No one can believe one disaster after another. No one could believe one shitstorm after another. This has often been your stereotypical, admittedly, experience. Hardship upon hardship, being born into a rough experience or childhood, a lot of lack, fighting the whole world to eke your way out, to carve a space for yourself, amid some kind of comfort and prosperity, and hopefully a little generosity at the end of your road to mastery. The comic is clarified by the Ace of Swords. This is really about your consciousness. This is really about not laughing but reversing the joke in a way. That woe is me, that it could be worse, but not really attitude that sometimes we carry with us, that uh, I can't believe I took this job, or I picked this experience, or my life has been what it appears to others as one rigor after another. And in many ways, you often don't see your life in the way that others see it. Others see you as incredibly hardworking, determined, ambitious, calm, in control, and yet you experience a certain emotional, intuitive sensitivity that is stressful, burdened, burnt out. And what I believe you're experiencing in May is the clarity of a new idea, a new attitude, a new approach, an attitude that recognizes that you have always had the skills and the opportunities to achieve what you want. It has been the way that you were thinking about it, talking to yourself about it, that has had an internalizing impact that has been quite devastating. The sad sack, the heavy energy, the why do I always get the wrong end of the stick? Why does nobody ever pick me kind of attitude, which is precisely the reverse, I believe, of what is true. So this May, it feels like there may be an instance of an opportunity, a truth that is truly liberating for you, that really helps you to see that you are part of a lineage of power. You just don't have a good idea. You're just not lucky. You're part of a tradition. You're part of a heritage. And you were built to do and withstand what your ancestors would have done with their hands tied behind your back. And you are coming to connect with that. I believe many of you are connecting specifically with a authority figure among your ancestral line. You may be experiencing this in your meditations or your dreams. Some distant relative, perhaps one you didn't even know about, is stepping forward to let you know they're here, they're loving, they're kind, they're guiding you. They've lived a lifestyle that may not have been wealthy, but was well-rounded. They were brimming with well-being, a lifestyle that was more than just an occupation or a job, an entire lifestyle that was joy-filled, rooted in their communities, that they were a gift to others. In June, the mentor card. See, the mentor is described by the guidebook as the teacher, the sage, or the guru. It's said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall, an overwhelming force. The true teacher is able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay, while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul, service of the greater cosmic good, and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes himself for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. And I can think of many famous leaders of state that were Capricorns that met just such a fate. They fell into disabuse. They were disrespected. They fell into failure, decline, all of their work wiped out. So this energy is really speaking to a deeper quality you have, and it is one that I often associate with a Capricorn that is on their path and begins to recognize the many skills they've gained, no matter how one they were, or skills that can be shared with others, ways that they can be generous, not with what they have, that might be a little bit trickier, but with what they know and their sincere desire to elevate individuals to the level of true citizenship, being a part of a community, being a responsible part of a community that contributes to well-being and general prosperity. This is clarified by the Strength card. It's interesting because I believe this quality of teaching, of sharing information, of uh, being an advisor or a mentor is actually what comes to sustain your effort. Whatever it is you do, whatever your skill set is, by teaching it, you actually sustain your effort because you become a model of what has been successful for you, what works for you, the work ethic required, the devotion to a task that you believe in requires. This is stunning. Capricorn, if this is resonating for you, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I thank all of you for your wonderful generosity and support of what I do. If that's through your presence or through whatever way you are there and help, I feel it. And for the Hangman, in the month of April, we're going to clarify with a couple of cards, and we have the Four of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. And for May, we have the Nine of Cups and King of Cups. For the Strength card in June, we have the Ace of Swords again, and the Six of Pentacles. Very practical, very grounded. This is all about your social identity, the way you see yourself as part of the world. The illumination of the full moon is really focusing on how you balance the power you believe you have, you manifest for yourself and others, how you achieve justice. So in April, the Hangman is you considering the foundation you've built, understanding that the work you've done has set up a platform from which you can build. And what you have already built is your independence, your garden, your interest, your investment that you now understand is continually recycled into not only your skill set, learning more, but other projects that align with yours. So although you are enjoying your skills, the rewards of your skills and resources in your own private space, extracting all the pleasure from the work you do on your own terms, your independence, you feel, is what gives you the ability to make the choices regarding what is right for you. In May, the Ace of Swords is clarified by the Nine of Cups and the King of Cups. This is so incredibly beautiful because this is the basis on which you come to experience the truth, which comes to you as an emotional fulfillment. And this is important because I think the deprivation of material goods or resources for many Capricorns is wounding to the inner child energy. It's wounding to the sense of deservedness and begins to chip away at the joy, at the exhilaration you truly can experience in the world, and feeds this inner narrative that you are not worthy, that you haven't learned, that your emotional intelligence is not useful or supportive, when the revelation you are experiencing in May is telling you quite the opposite. It is your emotional intelligence that is helping you, is gaining you the maturity to navigate the world of things, ambitions, material goals that you aspire towards, that you desire. Understanding when enough is enough, when what you do is really giving you your pleasure, and in many ways, the sharing of that pleasure, that joy, the modeling of that, isn't that the message? Isn't that the energy that you want to share with others? It's certainly the energy you want to feel. You want to feel that sense of enoughness, satisfaction, contentment, that you've done and experienced all that is fits you, all that is related to your ability to give, to contribute in the world. And in June, the Strength card is clarified by the Ace of Swords again, and the Six of Pentacles, yes. This is interesting as a Capricorn because the truth of your putting your power to the test comes through your relationships and all of your energy exchanges. It's not retreating from the world that makes you safe. It's not your independence that makes you safe. It's your ability to engage with others, to test out, to implement what you've learned, the ability to negotiate, to share your truth, to relate that to the experiences of others, to be open-minded, to entertain new ideas, to express your curiosity and the fact that you don't know everything. The truth is what gives you the confidence to share what you do know and to admit that there are limits to that. But to acknowledge again that justice is your aim and that justice can be achieved in every aspect of your life through the way that you respect others with whom you work, the ability to communicate effectively with them, and to acknowledge when something is working and when something is not, and then to do the work to adjust it, to balance it, and make it fair. This is the energy you are sustaining, and this does give you a lot of joy. This is not an area you thought you were good at. Although no one else would agree with that, you now take joy. You're not feeling resentment, not feeling overworked, not feeling like you're the one doing everything. What a beautiful experience. This second quarter is opening up for you. And the Oracle of Flowers pulls the tuberose, and the key word is desire. Be certain of where you place your passion. And from what I can tell, Capricorn, this is a day-by-day, moment-by-moment decision that is giving you joy, that does stoke your confidence, that helps you to continue to learn and grow. Thank you so much for this lovely reading, Capricorn. I appreciate all of your comments. If you want to drop me a line about what works or what may resonate for you now or in the future, I would appreciate it. Until next time, namaste.